The next very interesting loop mechanism we'll see is while loop. While loops are very familiar to all the C engineers. Here the right hand side is C code and left hand side is Rust code. While loops are basically designed to repeat while a condition is true and are particularly useful when the repetition count is not known beforehand. So here in this case, it's a very simple while loop where the variable is assigned a value 10. It enters the while loop, prints the condition, and then it decrements. So this pattern is repeated until condition becomes 0. And then it exits the while loop and executes the last statement. So the problem with this is that to enter the while loop, there are many possibilities because any non-zero value evaluates to true. However, to exit the while loop, there is only one condition, that is 0. The problem is that, having many possibilities of true can open up to subtle bugs and ambiguity. Alright, so these are fixed in Rust. So first let's see the syntax of while loop in Rust code. So here there is a variable binding with name, condition and assigned a value 10. So this is a mutable variable binding. It's mutable because the value changes. So this is a syntax while of condition. So here while of 10, then it println condition, and then this is decrement, right? Let's execute both of them and see what happens. So basically this Rust program initially tries to mimic or mirror the C program. So here it prints from 10 to 1. It decrements in every iteration and then it comes to 1. From 1 it goes to 0 and the while condition is false. It exits the loop. Now let's execute or compile the Rust program. The Rust program gives a compilation error. It says, hey, the condition is expected to be bool, but it found integer. So in case of Rust, it strictly wants the condition to be either a boolean or to evaluate to a boolean. The expression can evaluate to a boolean or it can be a straightforward boolean, right? So here in this case, condition is 10. 10 greater than or equal to 0 is true. So in boolean there are only two values, that is true or false. And true or false does not mean 1 or 0. True or false are distinct types. They are types by themselves. Okay, so in case of C, true or false are nothing but boolean macro values, right? That's why there is a hash defined there. But here in this case, they are not 0 or 1. It is true or false is true or false only. So this evaluates to true, and that's why the condition is satisfied. It enters the loop and this condition decrements. It keeps on doing it until condition becomes 0. So once this is 0, 0 equal to 0, so this is false. It exits the loop and executes this statement. This is the first thing. The second thing is that in the syntax, it's optional, not required to use parenthesis unless it's a very complex expression and you want to include for readability. If you include parenthesis, it will give a compilation warning. That's the second one. The third one is in case of C, C often supports this, right? I plus plus or plus plus I minus 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 I, right? So this is very common in C. This is called post increment, this is pre increment, this is post decrement, and this is pre decrement. So this is not supported in Rust. Rust you can only use like this. Okay, now let's compile this program. Let's save this program on the right hand side. So compile it, compiled fine and executed it. Okay, this is about while loop. So having a boolean condition makes while loops safer. Okay.